I just went across and got Doomwick's chat up on my stream. It's all good. So, well, hello, everybody. Welcome. Hopefully this week's going to be good for some of you. Two of you, unfortunately, you will not be going home. Seth's obviously can't join us right now. He'll be joining us momentarily, but until he does, we'll start with you three. So I'm going to ask you three, I'm going to kick off some questions. How hard was it to build your deck this week? Because I've been watching a bit of Dingo stream, and he's been tearing his hair out about it. Every single time he's like, let's try this card. I'm always in his chat going, you used that last time, you can't play that card. He's like, don't. Okay, it completely changed the whole color. So starting with you, Dingo, how hard was it for you to find your two decks for this week, knowing that you played only a week ago, so it means that you had a load of cards off the table?
So I knew for sure by registering both my Silver Bullets of Boros and Eldrazi last week, I was going to play a Grief deck this week. This guy, this one right here.
Was he?
Grief?
Was you?
What happened? What happened? It's not fair.
Justice. Sorry, Batman voice.
So I got cut off of Grief, which means I really had to dig deep and play the most mediocre 49% win rate deck I could think of. So I registered Murktide and Storm.
Shots fired.
I couldn't play Giganta and Storm or Flage for the White Splash with Orm's Chant or green for the Veil of Summer. So I'm on blue-red Storm playing Into the Flood Maw as my get 'em card because, you know, I felt like gifting some fish today.
That's cool. I'm down for it. That's the exact reason we put this stipulation on. We want to see some of these extra cards being played. Maybe it's terrible in Modern. Maybe it's going to be really good. We're going to find out. All right, Kanister, how does it feel not registering Primeval Titan?
A bit sad, especially since I'm falling, like, I guess not falling in love, but just enjoying the deck once again, as it just feels really strong and like well poised in the new Modern format. But unlike Dingo, I was lucky enough or smart enough to register Grief last time I played, so that I got the crest start of my list, and now with the card band, I no longer had to worry about the shrinked card pool. But similarly, I had to struggle a little bit to come up with the decks I will be running for this week. My decks previously took a lot of great cards, the One Ring, Urza Saga, and all of the Goria's Vengeance cards. Turns out that, you know, cutting myself off of the Shocklands and Fetchlands was a little bit of a tough issue. So I had to work around that a little bit too. So, you know, ideally, I would like to run green in my Storm deck too, but unfortunately, my Titan deck needed that one commercial district. So I went with a blue splash with Flame of Anor.
It is interesting to see how all these decks are kind of some of them are quite the same. Like everyone, I think, bought the same deck at least once tonight, which is interesting to see where everyone's going. Maybe it doesn't use so many of these cards. But one of the good facts before we get to you, Alex, is there's no One Rings this week. Everyone's used them. They can't play the one for some reason, so no one can use One Rings. We have got Modern without the One Rings this week. It's going to be interesting to see how that kind of manipulates the format and how it plays out. So, Alex, talk to me. Was it hard building your decks this week? What are they?
Not at all. Well, first of all, I didn't play last week, so I could play whatever cards I wanted. If I wanted to play the One Ring, I could. But unlike you, Will, I did some research. I found out it was Anu's birthday today. So, you know, I have Storm for the fireworks. And then what do I think about when I think of Anu? He's a high energy guy. So I brought Boros Energy as my second.
It's like the absolute opposite of the decks he plays. It's like his pet deck. He hates it, but I like it.
I really thought I was ready for him to say Turbidus, Temporal Mastery, and Treat the Angels.
I was like, here we go.
I respect it, but no, I'm for it. Yeah,
I've had enough of my career spent playing those cards.
All right, next question is coming from the man, the myth. His birthday as well, for anyone tuning in to get the happy birthdays in chat. Anurag, go for it.
I have a very controversial question that I want to ask. You know, it was going to happen. We got to talk about it. So on Monday, obviously, Grief and Nadu were banned. And obviously, we know what you're playing today. But I'm more interested in the three of you, the four of you, Will, you two, you know, as personalities in the community. What are your thoughts on, you know, the announcement on Monday? Kanister, I know you have a very strict rule in your chat, so feel free to opt out if you'd like. But Dingo, we'll go ahead and start with you. Did you like what was announced? Did you wish there was more? Did you wish there was less? What's your 2 cents?
So I thought that Grief ban was about 8 months too late, because I think that the optimal time to ban Grief was December, when they didn't ban anything at all of 2023. That would have been my vote for the time to ban Grief. I think I would like to see Ringo instead, because Personally, I don't like getting ring looped, but some people may find that to be a fun play pattern. Me, not so much. I guess like if you're Anzid and it's your birthday and you love drawing cards, the ring's a fun play pattern and you hate getting discarded. So, there's that. I think I would like to see a couple things come off the ban list as well. I think they did a pretty good job with the Nadu ban, of course. Nobody wanted to see that anymore. So stand by them with that. But I think ring should have gone over grief instead.
All right, next up, Will. Yeah, let's hear from you.
All right. I just think that Wizards don't like Dingo and don't like the deck being called Scam. So if we just ban Fury and Grief, we can never see that deck again, and they'll never say the word Scam ever printed. So I think it's just a personal attack at Dingo, unfortunately for Dingo. But no, I've been with you. I think if we did it 6-8 months ago, Grief, everyone would be like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, it's cool. Now, personally, I think the ring should stay around. I think there's enough cards in Modern to fight the one ring. It's a 4-drop at the end of the day. Was that 4 drops in Modern? Not quick enough, but it isn't fun when people go ring into ring into ring, because I enjoy playing my Warriors decks and I just want to turn everything sideways. When they time walk me 4 times in a row, it's like, ugh. And then they raff me. It feels pretty bad. But yeah, it's Nadu had to go. Is what it is. I still think, and I'm sorry, Kanister, I still think Summoner's Pack should go. And I'm gonna go up, be on that shield to the end of time. I think that card does nothing but make
personal,
really crazy decks. Like, like Nick Neoform is because of that card. Like, Titan's got the 5th to 8th Titan because of that card, or whatever they need to find. It was in Nadu, shock. I just think personally, I think that card should have gone, but
Right.
it never
Note
will.
to self.
That's a very sane
hates-
opinion, Will.
Yeah, hates Kanister. I've written that down in my
I love
notebook.
Kanister. I love Kanister. Yeah.
All right, before I get on to our next person, Hayne, I want to hear from chat. Chat, what do you think? Do you agree? Like, do you think Grief and Nadu were good? Do you think the One Ring should have also gone? In the meantime, Alex, let me know. What are your thoughts?
Well, I somewhat agree with YungDingo that Grief being banned 8 months ago would have made more sense. But like they say, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. That's kind of how I feel about the Grief ban. I mean, I'm not really a fan of the card. I think that when they banned Fury, they should have banned Grief instead. But it's certainly Nadu had to go. That one, they mentioned in their article is a design mistake, and those happen. Yeah, I mean, they did things in other formats too. I think mostly pretty good announcement. I just kind of wish that we didn't have to ban so many cards, but with so many cards being printed nowadays, I guess more and more have to be banned because it's harder to keep up. So
yeah, balance is a good thing, and we'll always be trying to strive for it. Kanister, last but not least, do you have any thoughts on the matter?
I was just awaiting a Summer Bloom unban. Maybe it's gonna come off one day. Hoping, not expecting.
That's a good question. Would you trade Summer Bloom for Summoner's Pact?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. That's juicy. I like to hear that. All right, yeah. I personally don't think Grief should have been banned, which is weird because I hate playing against the card. But if I will personally be happier on the MTGO leagues just playing, knowing that my opening hand won't be targeted. But part of me, as much as I love the One Ring, I kind of do feel like there's a very strong argument for taking it away from us. So we'll see. We'll give it some time. And I'm glad that Nadu is gone and that we can all sort of at least enjoy this iteration of Modern. Will, any more questions for our players?
No, I'm just going to add to that. I think the ring has probably got a target on his back purely because Dingo now puts it in aggro decks for everybody. So now everyone playing, the Boros aggro list have got 4 1 rings in it, and it's like it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, it works still, and it is what it is. So yeah, if basically, if we just stop Dingo getting cards banned, that'd be great. If you could just not, play some blue white decks or something, get those banned.
I should start playing Infect.
Ooh, no, that's good luck. Okay. On that one, we're going to end this. We're going to go back to the booth with me and Anu. We're going to get you all set up ready for the round 1 feature matches tonight.